Sourdough is one of the most popular types of bread to make, but you will want to know how long to let sourdough rise before getting started. Whether you are an avid baker or are new to bread making, sourdough is a great option to make. Making sourdough takes lots of time and patience. However, it is a great project you can do at home that will give you bakery quality bread. What is sourdough bread? It is a type of bread that is naturally leavened. Unlike most bread, it does not use commercial yeast and it does not always need to be kneaded. It has a chewy, tangy inside and a crunchy crisp outside. Instead of commercial yeast, sourdough uses a starter kit. The starter kit consists of fermented flour and a water mixture that has wild yeast and good bacteria. The starter kit of sourdough bread is what allows it to rise. Basic sourdough only contains 3 ingredients: flour, water, and salt. Many different kinds of flour can be used, with bread flour being a popular choice. Sourdough is also generally healthier than other types of bread. It contains higher levels of folate and antioxidants compared to other types of bread. How to make a sourdough starter? To make your sourdough starter at home, all you need is flour and water. It is a several-day process to get your starter ready to use, but it will only take up a few minutes of your time each day. Combine flour and water in a glass, plastic, or stainless steel container. Then, leave the mixture loosely covered for 24 hours at room temperature. Each day after, you will begin feeding your starter with more water and flour. In some cases, you will even remove some of the starters each day as you add to it. It will take around 6 to 7 days for your starter to be complete. Once it is ready, it will have doubled in size and you will see lots of bubbles. It will have a spongy, fluffy texture and the smell should be pleasant. Sourdough rise time. When making sourdough, you will combine flour, water, salt, and a starter. After mixing the ingredients, you will let it rest and then shape it into a ball. At this point, your sourdough will likely be ready to rise. The rinsing step is an important process in the development of the rise. Generally, the first rise, sometimes called the bulk rise, will take between 3 to 12 hours. During this, it should double in size and have a dense appearance. The sourdough second rise will happen after you shape your dough. Typically, the second rise will last around 30 minutes to 1 hour. After your second rise, your bread is ready to bake. Temperature and time. Once you have the dough in a bowl, cover it with a kitchen towel or plastic wrap. The dough will proof faster at a temperature between 70 to 85 degrees Fahrenheit, taking around 3 to 6 hours. In a cooler environment, around 65 to 68 degrees Fahrenheit, your dough will take between 6 to 12 hours to proof. For your second rise, you can place your dough in a pot with a lid. In some cases, the recipes may call for the second rise to take place in the fridge. Depending on the recipe, you may only have 1 rise, but 2 are more common. In certain cases, you can do 1 12 to 24-hour rise, but your bread will have a stronger sour flavor. If this is the case, your dough will rise in the fridge. Proofing sourdough overnight. If desired, you can proof your sourdough overnight. Whether you are wanting to do 1 or 2 rises, you can do the process overnight. If your house is cooler, around 65-68 Fahrenheit, you can leave your dough to proof overnight for 8 to 12 hours at room temperature on your counter. Then, in the morning, you can continue shaping it before its second rise. You can also let your sourdough rise overnight for around 12 hours in your fridge. Then, after proofing for 12 hours or so, you can shape it and bake it. Tips and tricks. To make sourdough, you will need to have a starter. With just flour, water, and a jar, you can create a starter in just a few days, with only a few minutes of work each day. One of the most important steps in making sourdough bread is letting it rise. Most recipes call for 2 rises, with the first one lasting 3 to 12 hours at room temperature and the second one lasting 30 minutes to 1 hour. In some cases, you may just have 1 rise that can last for 12 to 24 hours in the fridge. If you liked this video, don't forget to like and subscribe.